What's going on, everybody? This is Jay Leno, and I am here with my guy, Darrell Miller. What's going on, bro?
Man, what's good, my brother?
Nothing much, man. Lots happened over the weekend,
Yeah.
following Valentine's Day, but I still had an opportunity to nerd it up and watch the Captain America: Brave New World movie. We're here to do a review and a couple of breakdowns, and also include some informative information that people may not know about Disney and general and characters as well. Darrell, so overall, man, what'd you think of the movie?
Man, I really liked it, man. I gotta say, it was better than what I read on YouTube what people was talking about it. I really enjoyed it. I gave it like an 8.5 for me, with the movie and stuff like that. But I really liked it. I think they all did a great job, with acting and stuff like that. Yeah, but I really enjoyed the movie.
Nice, nice. Is that bundle you here? Make sure you got his. I don't know if he has his headset and everything set up yet, but okay, I'll just continue on myself. Yeah, I as well like the movie a lot.
Almost
Um,
there. Almost there.
okay, all right. I also like the movie a lot. I give the film about an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not really much for me to critique and dislike. I think for why I give it such a high rating is the limitations that would have. I think they were limited. What would have given this film a 10 out of 10 wasn't really in Disney's hands in per se with how I viewed this film. Um, I guess Bundle needs a moment, so we'll get back to him in a few. So basically, this Captain America movie is it's a continuation. It's another sequel to the Captain America franchise, obviously. But one thing I really wanted to point out to everyone is this storyline is connected with the Norton's Incredible Hulk series. The only thing that's pretty much changed through this is they recasted um, Thunderbolt Ross, which is now being played by Harrison Ford. Darrell, like, what's your take on Harrison Ford's performance and just overall with this film?
I thought he did good. I mean, I think, and honestly, he had a little different maybe personality. He wasn't as too, like mean or whatever, like attitude wise as the other guy. RP to him. But I thought he did a great job coming in as a replacement. You know what I mean? I thought he did good, had emotions and like the battles he was going with. I really enjoyed him. He was entertaining. Like like he did his part. I thought he did good. He just did a different take to me than the original one.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, um, I guess the personality
You know what
of
I mean? I
Thunderbolt
thought he did
Ross
good,
and
had
the
emotions
original. Hey,
and
Bundle, could you turn the volume
like
down on the stream
the
in here because we
battles
can
he
hear
was
it?
going.
All right, but yeah. So to me, like Thunderbolt Ross originally was like way more boisterous and outspoken. I think that would have been irritating going throughout this film. I don't. I think Harrison Ford, being that he's a president in this movie and being more reserved and more professional and has a little bit more etiquette into the eye of the public, I think it worked out for him. So yeah, I agree with you there too.
Yeah.
So well, so one, oh yeah, I'm also going to bring up what you think of Sam Wilson?
Ah,
This movie is about Falcon being the
right,
Captain America. So
right.
like,
Right. I liked him, man. I thought he did his part. I mean, you could tell like he really is working hard to get out of that sidekick shadow. You know what I mean? Like he's really working hard. It don't mean he's there fully yet, but you could tell he's building up to it, getting more confident with himself, like believing and like remembering what Cap taught him. Like what Steve Rogers taught him before and stuff like that. Like he's been working for 10 years with and working with Steve Rogers. So I really like his character and stuff what he was going through, and then with Isaiah, his chemistry with him and the new Falcon. I really liked it, and his fighting style is cool too, and using the wings and all that. That's cool.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you too. Jonan, what up, man? Appreciate you hopping in the stream with us, saying what's up. If you want to join us, the links as well as in the comment section. So like going into this, the consensus like appeared to me that people looked at Falcon as like being like almost like DEI or affirmative action, like they're just trying to replace him for a black man. And for the people that don't have knowledge of it, he was originally Captain American, a Captain America replacement,
Yeah,
and this is the continuation of the mantle of Captain America, and this also as well is a continuation of the series on Disney, in which this film takes place 2 years after the ending of that film. But
yeah,
also, yeah, I'd like to also add in and agree with you as well. I really did like the fight scenes with Sam Wilson's Falcon, because I mean, look, at the end of the day, uh, Sam Wilson doesn't have superpowers,
right.
and for him to interact and get into fight choreography, and I mean, basically, he has military high level self defense training.
Hmm.
He's basically almost like almost a close to pro level UFC
Right.
fighter at that point. And oh yeah, what'd you think of the upgrades?
Oh yeah, that's definitely. I love the upgrades. Like I said, I love the armor of the
Gaming goggles are the way to go.
I love the armor of the suit and everything. Like he was more technical with it, and I love like the little Sonic thing when he flies down. Like I think he's really like he's becoming more and more. I said doper at the more he becomes the new Captain America. I think he's really getting better with that. I wish they hopefully bring in a real bird in the future, but I doubt it. But it's cool what he's doing.
Red Wing. You would like to see an appearance of the original Red Wing, or just having
Yeah,
more of a connection than the cybernetic Falcon. Yeah. So,
yeah.
Bundle, I guess you still been able to hear us. Our take on the film. What's your thoughts, bro? Okay, all right, we're gonna wait on Bundle again. We can hear your mic move. We can hear you cough.
Oh, hello?
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
you go. There you go. Man, that shit wasn't kicking in for the longest time.
Hey, we're not using profanity tonight.
I said, huh?
We're not using profanity tonight. I'm just telling you, like, go ahead, but we're not using profanity. I was asking you on your review of Captain America.
Oh, I thought about it.
Well, like, what'd you think of the film?
All right, shoot. um, I liked it actually. I liked it. I'm not sure where it's getting some of the hate that it's getting from online. I think we're still in that era of where we're supposed to be overtly impressed by everything from 2008 and 2018, from what we have from phase 1 through 3. But going forward, I mean, I don't have any problems with this. I mean, it's a comic book movie, so you're gonna roll your eyes at certain moments, but that's how it's always been. Um, I mean, I'm going to go into detail with certain characters, but as far as my overall, just like mine, like Agatha and certain other things they put out recently, you just roll your eyes to it, like Jesus Christ, I didn't do it. What is this? And I didn't get that from this. Solid fight choreography, solid fight scenes. pacing was on there. You understood Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross's redemption story. It's continuance of the relationship of Joaquin, the new Falcon, coming forward. Finally, we addressed the Indian Ocean Tiamat Celestial. I think we all knew in the trailers that this is where Adamantium was coming from, so that wasn't a surprise to anybody.
Okay, hold on. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Yeah, we're gonna get there. Look. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. I mean, with this film coming out in February, I think this is it. This may be the best African American superhero movie we've ever gotten.
Give me about 20 minutes.
Hold on, I don't know about all that.
Think about it. African American superhero movie.
I mean, it's absolutely up there.
In MCU, or are we saying in general?
No, all overall. Think about
it. I'm going with Blade. I'm going with Blade. I'm going with Blade.
You can't do nothing without Blade.
Yeah,
Marvel
that's true.
Can't do nothing without Blade.
I'm sorry.
So,
I can't.
So would this be? Would you put this second?
It'll be third. If we counting Blade 1 and Blade 2, it'll be third.
We're just doing Blade, bro. We're not.
All right, I'm
Blade 1, Black Panther, this one.
Well, Black Panther is African more so.
Yeah, he's talking about American.
And a lot of people are going to say Black Panther 1, Blade 2, then this one. Because, I mean, I'm looking at it like this. Like, you can't have Black Panther in this Marvel stuff without Blade. And so, with that respect, I give him that nod. But I also understand what it meant to us, what it did, the first billionaire project in the MCU since 2008. What I understood what it meant, and have to not to try Chadwick Boseman be it. So, as far as what that means to us, what we'll remember that by, it's going to be really hard to not put that at number one. But with respect to that can't happen without Blade, and arguably you won't even entertain that idea without Michael Jai White's film with Spawn.
I was about to say that. Can we include Spawn in it?
I mean, Spawn is up for comparison. I got this above Spawn. Do like Spawn, but I got this film above Spawn.
Me too. I do just a little bit, but it's still iconic. You know what I mean? To have that Spawn when Michael J. White, but I do got Captain America a little bit over Spawn.
But I did want to mention this.
Meteor Man.
Meteor
Man.
Yeah,
he's Marvel.
Hey, the Goldie Lords, dog.
He's Marvel.
Goldie Lords, dog.
He's Marvel. He's Marvel. Hey, never mind with Eddie Griffin and them. Yeah, I might. hey, Captain America third.
Meteor Man.
Hey, I'm sorry. Meteor Man's in there, and he's Marvel.
But okay, so I would like to just throw my little 2 cents in this. That Blade film, great film, was scripted really well. Comic book wise, the depiction and adaptation was really more of its own thing.
Yeah, but you gotta give that credit to Wesley Snipes though.
Yeah, I mean Wesley Snipes. Wesley Snipes. Oh, honorable mention. Jonas said Hancock as an honorable mention.
Hancock is actually extremely underrated.
All right, never mind. Extremely underrated. Never mind. Hancock is number 2.
Hancock is extremely underrated, honestly.
That's
all right.
Yeah. But okay, I say that to say, with the development of the Falcon and Winter Soldier series, get them, including Isaiah Bradley in his presence and paying homage to him being the being a part of this lore, because before he was even included or mentioned, there had been an ongoing consensus that they don't want to talk about Isaiah Bradley. They don't want to bring us as in black people included, because the separatism behind this. I feel like Disney with this inclusion has empowered Falcon in this film. Like, he's our hero.
I honestly thought that I just got out of the game. I honestly thought that it was kind of interesting that they put Isaiah in there a little more, as much as they did. And I did kind of like the whole assassination thing. That was pretty interesting until you figured out the leader was behind it. But I'll digress. But anyway, I didn't think that they would actually talk about Isaiah Bradley any more than what they did in Falcon Winter Soldier, and just let his grandson, progress
Right.
as the new one, as Iron Patriot. Yeah, is it Iron
Patriot,
Patriot?
Patriot.
Yeah. Just not Iron Patriot, but just straight Patriot. Yeah, I thought they were just gonna go ahead do the whole Young Avengers route, blah blah blah, which that hasn't been thrown out yet because obviously they're still gonna do a new Avengers initiative, but with Thunderbolts coming right out, and we know what Sentry and the Void are coming. I'm gonna digress right now. They're not gonna go right into being the Young Avengers, so they're gonna need a solid Avengers team first before the Young Avengers. I thought they were gonna go right into the Young Avengers, so having Isaiah Bradley as a part of this, I thought that was pretty solid, and actually showing how strong he still is into his old age. That was pretty beast.
Yeah. I think
That's right.
I,
But
I'm
the red,
agreeing with
white,
you.
and black comic is a pretty dope comic, and yeah, his character he killed it. I don't know what his haircut was doing, but he killed it.
So they originally were going to bring in Patriot alongside, but there were a lot of cuts and scenes and a lot of the script that they left out of this film. This film was a struggle to make, apparently, to these articles that I've been reading. So a lot of the critique. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, since this is happening kind of during the same time as, I would say, what the Skrulls, they probably just happened like a little bit after this, because I mean, they had like a 5-month jump. It said that, and I really don't know truthfully how long this is after Skrulls, because in Skrulls, remember, they had a completely different president, and now this is, Thaddeus Thunderbolts Ross's reign to be president. So I don't know if we were in his first year, second year, third year, whatever that was in the
Do you
Skrulls.
remember the year of the president you're referring to with the Skrulls? Because technically, I think this
I
is
really
20-
don't, but
this is 2027.
honestly, Jonan in here, so Jonan actually will figure that shit out. Excuse me, Jonan will figure that out.
Take your time, please.
Sorry. Jonan will figure that out, and yeah, we'll figure out how long after the Skrull invasion was to what we're witnessing right here. It's because that show was so messed up by the COVID and the pacing and how everything was like that you almost felt like that show didn't even matter. And we got one of the strongest heroes, period, ever, with old girl's character, Emilia Clarke. Who was she? The Skrull that now has all the powers of the Avengers. And they had basically a whole sovereign attack that happened in a whole nother, with super soldiers, the Flag Staffers. That one, what's her name? That one Black Widow that started fighting, that went alongside, Wilson and old boy that was, security of defense for the president. I thought she was a Flag Staffer, in the beginning. Then she ended up being the Black Widow. But anyway, they kind of just completely forgot everything that happened in Secret Invasion. I'm just like, yo, at the end of that show, they were killing newscasters because half the world thought that they were Skrulls and stuff, and y'all didn't say anything about that in that film. Like, I'm finally glad that they addressed, the big giant, celestial in the Indian Ocean. But the last time they left this world, how they were like that, they were shooting people internationally just because people thought Skrulls were this, Skrulls were that, Skrulls were that, and now it's just like, all right, that is Thunderbolt Ross is president. No one says anything else about that. I don't know. They got to keep up with some shit.
Well, okay, so maybe those are those. Okay, remember those scenes where I guess it was China that was referring to Thunderbolt Ross's when he obtained position of being Japan. Japan was putting pressure on Ross about him being able to handle his country. It's like your country's in shambles. So maybe that's another thing leading to on how, they kind of frowned upon him having as a United States leader being in the position that he's in. But
yeah, he's known as the Hulk Hunter. Yeah. No Avengers, all this crazy stuff, the blip, got Celestial hanging out, the Sokovia Accords, the things that Scarlet Witch has done. I mean, even if you actually even think about all the individual movies, Doctor Strange has caused, and his movie Multiverse of Madness, man, we fought that big giant monster in the middle of New York with America Chavez, and had the whole thing with Scarlet Witch, and she had her. There's so many different things to think of. That's just like, at the same time, I can't blame the show for not taking everything into account because your budget's only so much what it is. So they did a good job for what they could, but the way that they left it, my one issue about the film, I don't even know if this is what your question or what we were debating on, but how they left Falcon and Winter Soldier post world and the Scrolls post world, because I felt like a lot of the issues that the flag staffers caused with super soldiers, basically infiltrating all of these mega, cities and basically these countries. And then you have the Scrolls, basically a known alien race coming down, becoming all these different people, and then you just go right into Captain
I got
America.
you. I don't want these viewers to go too much into. I don't want to go that far into the invasion. Because
I'll chill out.
All right. So a lot of the critiques that I'm seeing from a lot of content creators is how this film should have been a Incredible Hulk film, and the consensus has also been, hey, Marvel and Disney don't want to do an Incredible Hulk film, and I don't understand why. Well, guess what, people? They don't have the rights to the Hulk, nor do they have the rights to Namor. And if Bundle, I know you remember for sure, because I was literally in that room when all these different phases of movies that were going to come out, and Namor was going to get his own film. But as we can see, it's been difficult for Disney to obtain these rights, and then within the MCU. I mean, Darrell, like, how do you? What's your thoughts on like Disney creatively still progressing this storyline from Norton's Hulk into this Disney MCU right now?
I honestly, like we talked earlier, like I liked it because I thought it was a smart way. It's all still dealing with the government and military. Sam, military guy, Hulk, and General Ross, military. So I like how they combine them too. Yes, we would like to see a Hulk, solo film, but you can't when you don't have the rights. The same thing with Spider-Man. They can't really do a Spider-Man film unless Sony gives them the right to, and put it for Marvel to. So it's like they limited to what they can do. They just got X-Men back and Fantastic Four, so Marvel to me been doing good with what they had when they started, with having less characters compared to DC. You know what I mean? So I think honestly they only can do so much.
Yeah, I agree. Let's say we got Jonah in here speaking on. He said,
Slowing down is better.
Shogoth versus Doctor Strange. Universal owns the film rights to Hulk, but Disney could always collab with them, like with Sony over Spider-Man. So they would have to share that box office revenue if they did a solo Hulk film. And quite honestly, we don't even know how much they're charging Disney to use Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
It could. I wouldn't be surprised if they would, because I would imagine that you would the budget, it would be like obtaining like Will Smith.
Yeah.
Like you kind of get what I'm saying with all that CGI. Will Smith is known as the half of $100 million actor in films. So
The Rock too.
Yeah, including The Rock. So I would only imagine that Universal's like, oh, you want to use The Rock? You want to use the Hulk? Boom.
Yeah, and you got to think about merchandise too. Merchandise, all that accounts. So video games, all that stuff. Like they got to make money off of everything they do when it comes to that character. Video games, all that.
But I did with this film. After I did a little bit of research for the past couple of days, I did like how they went in. They kind of went into the crates and gave us the Serpent Society. Like, this is Captain American lore. I did like that Falcon's armor and wings. We got a opportunity to see him with the Wakanda, his material being made from vibranium. So, which would only make sense with his fight scene against the Red Hawk. Otherwise, we kind of know what he would do to all of his apparatus.
Yeah, he'd be dead. He'd be dead.
But Bundle, like, what was your measurement? I guess what was your thought in the measurement of the Red Hulk's force versus that vibranium?
I don't think we've ever seen the vibranium in the MCU tested against anything so forceful just yet. Outside of that, well, actually, except for one thing, and I'll say about it. But I did think it was interesting. The first solid, kinetic hit that was landed. It even had, Sam look at his wings, like, and the wing was actually like kind of like, oh, okay, it's stabilized though. And he was just like, you kidding me? Like, for real? And so I thought that was pretty cool, but wasn't as cool as the fact that how he redirected all of that kinetic energy. He was doing that Hulk smash back in that one wound in the side and then detonated. That was pretty tight. But, oh God, what was I going to say? God, actually, no, come back to me because I had another point I was going to make and it just escaped me, but I'll remember it in a second.
I mean, I guess for the average person, they're not really familiar with the difference between the Red Hulk and the Green Hulk. And if I'm not mistaken, the Red Hulk is supposed to be stronger than the Incredible Hulk. Am I wrong? Do I have that correct?
They have a different ways of absorbing their strength through their gamma radiation, and different ways that they're triggered. I mean, obviously all for anger and rage and pain and loss, almost on some Saiyan stuff. But one reason why Red Hulk is always kind of singeing, his clothes and burning stuff is that he has the ability to absorb ambient energy and turn it kinetic. So it actually hurts. There's actually comic panels of him showing, yoking up Silver Surfer and absorbing his cosmic energy. So he has the ability to absorb energy, kinetic, cosmic. There's like other 5 different spectrums that Marvel classifies it as, and actually able to redirect it right back to you, rather than Hulk just being pure gamma and rage. But it's just I don't know if they're gonna really show that here. But that's one of the reasons why he was like burning up, he dissipates heat and energy. That's one of the other things he does outside of Hulk.
Okay.
In his transformations. Now, feats of strength, that's a whole nother conversation.
So should he have the capability of destroying the vibranium?
Yeah. Every bit as strong. He's still a gamma powered being. It's up there. I mean, it's the first time we were just seeing that. Gamma versus vibranium within the MCU. The only time that we've seen vibranium get defeated within the MCU was when Thanos wielded his double whatever sword and he was breaking through vibranium Captain America's shield in Endgame. And a lot of people, I've seen some speculation being that, since Thanos is of space and has traveled everywhere, even to nowhere and stuff like that, has harnessed celestial, bodies, entities, whatever, and technology like that. So that blade of his is of adamantium, which was why I was able to break through vibranium. That's why it was so strong. I've seen that going around already, but that's just a loose speculation.
Okay, I got you. Well, also within this film is huge talks of adamantium.
There we go.
And there we go. This question I have doesn't necessarily pertain to this film, but I do want to know you guys' opinion on how do you think how much adamantium has been used before this film in the MCU at this point? I mean, as far as superheroes, like, is there any armors that we can check off the board that's been made of adamantium? Have we had any adamantium upgrades at this particular moment in the MCU?
I think we all speculation at that point. The only thing we've seen in adamantium was Deadpool and Wolverine shit. Wolverine stuff so far. It's just grown. It's integrated into the combo. I'm sorry, but Wolverine adamantium display within the MCU between Deadpool and Wolverine, I think, is the only thing we've seen in Disney's MCU so far.
I got a question. How long has that Internals thing been there? Has it been there for a long time?
Whenever the Eternals movie came out, what was that
Yeah,
2021, 2020?
yeah. Like what year? But what year in that movie
That
was they
is
like?
true. That is true. They are a few years ahead of us. So yeah. Jonan,
He said
So that's
Hammerhead
my question.
was mentioning.
You
Jonan,
said
what year did the Eternals when Cersei turned Tiamat into marble? What year
right.
was that in the MCU?
Bullseye possibly being. He said bullseyes to mention as far as vibranium. I'm not vibranium, adamantium.
Was that possible being laced with? I don't know what laced with it.
We'll
Because
see.
I'm trying to think, it had to be over
In the
200 years
comics.
old for Wolverine, right? Because if Wolverine
But
and
we're
the
comparing the comics to MCU though right now. So we're trying to
uh,
figure out where it happened in the MCU
yeah,
outside of Tiamat's resurrection within Earth. And outside of that, we haven't had it. Logan was a film produced by Disney, but it wasn't in this multiverse that we're like, that this film presides in.
SSJ
right.
said, "What up? What up, SSJ?"
Whatever it is.
That was good. Yeah, because I'm trying to see how they would tie Wolverine in if they, recast him or whatever. How would they do it with an animanium?
Okay. Well, yeah. Well,
It'd be interesting to see.
yeah. That was a question I had. So, I know, every no. Hold on. SSJ said something. It was found out. Hold on. Ooh. It was found out recently. A lot of things got cut from Brave New World. Yes, yes, it was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, of course.
But so I know the consensus of the Eternals film was that it was a horrible film, but it was the Eternals film was still important to the MCU
Yeah,
because it was dry, but its explanation of the importance of the origin of a lot of our powers and mutants and all these cosmic beings, and if I'm not mistaken, Bundle, the Eternals pretty much stopped the world from being destroyed.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So I mean, it might have been dry for you, but like this whole MCU thing is it's a soap opera.
But I was
hmm
one of the main ones that actually, SSJ will also say, he probably agree with me. Bundle's the one person that's going to go ahead and give props to MCU films that are actually trash, but I'm going to find a diamond in it. And the Eternals was like that as well. And I give Chloe Zim, the Academy Award winning director, her props. She tried to build too much character exposition and all this, and then why you would, emotionally care and why blah blah blah. The Eternals go through this blah blah. In a moment where we are after Phase 3 and in Phase 4, and we want to see cosmic gods fight. This is the Eternals, okay? I mean, it's not an Asgardian film, Love and Thunder, or nothing like that. These are gods fighting against, other gods, and oh, it just left my head. What are the things that are on the earth? That they have to fight. What are they called?
you talk about Scrolls? Not Scrolls.
No. It just left my head. What is it? What is it? The things that the Celestials sent the Eternals on Earth to destroy for, so human life can be seated. What were those? The Deviants.
Oh,
Excuse me.
Deviant.
Deviants.
Yeah.
My bad. Okay, that's what we wanted to see. We wanted to see Eternals versus Deviants because we understood the war that Jack Kirby created with that, and it's supposed to just be a war of gods. You know what I mean? And there was essentially 3 big fight scenes in the entire movie. They were solid, but it just took too long to get to in a time where we just wanted cosmic gods, comic books, boom, 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 boom. So it's revered as a butt cheek movie, but it's actually, like you said as well, it's completely driven in the exhibition that you need to understand where the MCU is going forward after Phase 4 and into Phase 5. And without knowing what happened there, watching that movie, this movie doesn't exist. So yeah, you're completely right with that.
So Jonan just had mentioned that Wolverine should have had his adamantium for at least 50 years since the 70s.
That's what
And
I'm saying.
so But
But
we're
things
not.
are different in
It's
this
not.
multiverse.
Yeah, I was about to say
Yeah.
Everything's
we're
different.
not. It's not confirmed that Wolverine is in this verse. We're going to elaborate on that, in
True.
a few. But I wanted to kind of get into the Eternals and the metal and the Adamantium. SSJ had mentioned the Adamantium will probably get retconned by the time X-Men come. I disagree with you
Nah, no,
there.
it
Yeah.
won't. No, it
The,
won't. It won't get retcon.
pretty much from now and on, we're going to see nothing but adamantium everywhere.
Yeah,
Right.
that's the whole reason why
Right.
they introduced
That's
it. They're
why
not
this
going.
film is
They're
here.
not.
That's
Yeah,
why
they're not going.
Japan
Yeah,
is over here
yeah.
talking about this
That's why we
these
want the
celestial
X
beings.
Men here. We saw the success of
Yeah,
Deadpool
they
and
gonna
all that
go.
and bringing the mutants in. We ain't gonna tell you this for no reason to say hell no. This is,
Yeah.
and then I'm not gonna get into this now, but also you should like have a point to discuss what the leader was talking about in that other scene when he was just like, "I've seen everything. I've seen all the probabilities, and I know, and the others are coming." He's speaking on the multiverse, but I'll get into that later. Though.
Yeah. Because now they don't need the vibranium now. A vibranium now. Now they got animanium. They probably gonna try to leave vibranium alone, or it's
Well,
But
gonna
at
be
the
a war
same
between
time,
them.
but there's still a war to be fought though, because
yeah,
you
Yeah.
have to harvest it off of the celestial island, and that was
Yeah.
what the whole treaty was based off of. So you got
Right.
to do your fair share. So if every country gets their fair share, think of every country that now has their own mutant and superhero that can be now thrown into the mix.
Yeah.
did they retcon or cancel the Armor War movie?
Yeah. I thought they did.
I think so. If they didn't, they definitely pushed it back. It almost doesn't even matter now.
Yeah, I think it can be assumed. Honestly,
It don't even matter now. Honestly.
for the future of this, I see Adamantium being looked as an upgrade from our obsession of vibranium that
That's
we
what
have.
I'm saying.
I think that's what's going to be promoted in the future.
It is, but we're
Yeah.
also gonna. I mean, but since they've changed the properties of vibranium, that is because vibranium was just a chemically altered. I'm sorry, not vibranium. Adamantium was just a chemically altered metalloid that we created here in the comic book. They completely now changed that, and now it's basically what the space guys that created us are made out of. So now, does it have magical properties? Does it do this? If we
Yeah,
do
I think that's
introduce
what
our Wolverine here, is it more than what it is, or is it the same way as is in comic books? Is it just 5 times heavier and not provide any type of kinetic like when you hit vibranium it loses all kinetic energy? You know what I'm saying? That doesn't happen with adamantium, and it's
Right.
way heavier and it's far harder to farm and blah 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 and blah blah. That it has in the comic book. So it's like, where are you going with? You're gonna go with the earth-based way that you have it presented in the comic books, or is it like, hey, these are literal metalloid shavings from a space god? Now it's got all these different properties, man, and it's gonna boost, a mutant X gene, blah blah blah, that's pushing for the X-Men. Like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
It's crucial.
Yeah.
SSJ says he gave the film a 4 out of 10.
No, it's
He
not
crazy.
that bad. It's
Yeah,
not. It
he's
definitely ain't
I'm
crazy.
that
not gonna say
bad.
nah.
It's not that
Each is
bad.
his own, but I can't
It's
give
not
it
that
4 out of
bad.
10.
Yeah, I can't do that.
As much
It's not
comic
that bad.
as much comic lore that was introduced into this film, its action scenes. I mean, look, the movie is not perfect. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it kind of gives you like, I understand better than the more recent Marvel movies that are coming out. I understand the vision of where they're going, and there's multiple different ways they can do that. It excites me for the future when like you end on like a few of these other TV shows like Agatha or What If or Love and Thunder or whatever like that. You're just kind of like, really, for real. All right, this one's kind of like, okay, I can see this going this way. I can see this going there. Okay, now you're talking about new Avengers. You're talking young Avengers. You're talking multiverse. Oh, you know what? I keep dropping it. My bad. I'm sorry.
But yeah,
Edit me up.
I got you.
You gotta edit.
Jonan says they also changed Thanos into a Eternal or something like that.
He's always been half Eternal. He's been classified as a Titan, but he was Eternal with the deviant gene when he was born. That's why his mama tried to kill him as soon as she saw him. But yeah, but I mean, his brother actually is Eros, aka Star Fox, It was actually portrayed at the very, very end of the Eternals movie, the mid credits, and he
Yeah,
was
I think
portrayed
that.
by that. What's that one singer that all the girls like? That one. What's the name? You know what I'm talking about?
I know the face, but I don't know
Go ahead.
the name.
Harry Styles. Is that his name? Y'all gonna
Oh
be like,
man.
I'm
Yeah,
probably crazy. No one's saying nothing, but I'm gonna be mad if I'm right and y'all looking at me like crazy.
I
But
mean,
I'm
like,
pretty
you wouldn't
sure
know. I mean,
his name is
I'll
okay.
just
Yeah,
say, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
he has a father named Lars and a mom named not Cersei, but something like that. And she had him, and he had the birth defect of the deviant gene. He was born purple, but he also had a half brother named Eros that they called Star Fox. That he was the eternal god of love, and he was beautiful and gorgeous. And I'm pretty sure he was portrayed by Harry Styles. In the mid-credit scene of Eternals, when you went above the Eternal ship with Angelina Jolie, that was played by Athena, Makari, not Sprite, but the other Eternal. Yeah, he hopped on with that little magical little leprechaun. Y'all remember that?
I've seen the
It's
picture,
been a while,
but I
but
ain't
I'm
seen
with
his
you.
name.
I'm with you.
Damn.
I'm with you. It's been a
Thunder
while to
Brain work
reference, but
hard.
that's why we have you here. That's why you're here. If you didn't
I know
know.
I ain't tripping. I know I ain't tripping. Someone bring that up. Jonan, where you at? So let them know I ain't tripping. I got her.
I got you. SSJ just had mentioned Chloe Zhao failed hard. She was a hack that was given too much ESP for product like Eternals.
got a quarter. She got an
Listen,
Oscar, bro. She's not a hack for getting an
hold on,
Oscar.
hold on. Chloe Zhao.
She got an Oscar, and then they were just like, "Oh, we're getting an Oscar award-winning director to now go ahead and direct a Marvel film." And I'm just like, she didn't understand what comic book fans wanted at the time. That's why I was saying that she gave us too much, background, character exposition, emotional content, how you feel they had a whole sex scene in the Eternals with Icarus and Cersei. You know what I mean? I'm just like, nah, we coming off of Endgame. We want to see gods fight. What are you
Yeah,
doing? You got
with these
three
powerful
fights. You
beings,
know what I'm saying?
like, yeah,
It
you
wasn't
didn't
a
know what you're getting
bad
yourself into.
movie. It's just the timing of what we wanted. Like,
Yeah.
nah, son.
Yeah.
Like, nah. It's like you put out Fast and the Furious and had 3 racing scenes in it. That's what she did. This is like,
Yeah.
what are
Yeah.
you doing?
Yeah.
And so it wasn't a bad movie. They had A-list actors. It's just you got to read your audience, mama. That's all.
Yeah, she just needed help.
Yeah, that's it. But a hack, nah. She got an Oscar off of that. She's solid. She's solid. She just wasn't the right person for the job at the time.
Yeah.
All right. So, moving on a little bit further to the next topic. So, Bundle, were you able to connect much or remember much of Norton's Hulk film and
Of course.
seeing Sam Stern again? I mean, Darrell, you and I talked about that. I'm referring to the villain in this film.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad they brought him back. And I was like, what y'all gonna do with him? I thought I was gonna see him in She-Hulk. That dumb show. When they had that whole they had that whole therapy circle with Blade's son and the Abomination. I ain't gonna give that no shine. Never mind. That show was weak. Anyway, I was glad to see him back. I didn't know that he would have the impact that he did. They didn't really truly explain how he was able to create sounds to target people to make them want to kill other folks. I mean, I guess his comic books was understood, don't need to be explained. So, I mean, that wasn't really that important. Just accept it for what it is. But I was kind of underwhelmed the way he looked. He kind of had the Angstrom Levy going on from, Invincible. But I thought his head was going to be a little taller. But, I mean, he was menacing for what it is. I mean, not menacing for what it is, but he was solid for what he was. He fulfilled what he should. I can't really say anything bad about him. I don't really understand the reason to turn yourself in at the end of the film, though. It's like, oh, I'm going to turn myself in while exposing Ross. It's like, bro, you can control people across the country. Why don't you just drop an email and then just be free? You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand that, but I guess they just wanted to, kind of just open, closed case on both of them. I don't really see the reason to bring either him or Red Hawk back, honestly. if they're just going to be a part of that. But we'll see. We'll see what's going on. But I don't really have any problems with him. But I just thought he looked a little different.
So, Jonan confirmed to me that his name is the leader. So Darrell, I'm gonna ask you first.
Mm-hmm.
Should they have given us Megamind, or do you like the aesthetics of how the leader looked in this film?
Leader.
Like I remember we talked about it. Like I'm not a huge fan of of the character like that, but I didn't care for his it didn't bother me his look in the movie. Like I knew what they tried to do with the prosthetics of it and make him more like human or with the skin tone, so I don't have a problem. But if they could have pulled it off with the green skin and all that, go for it. If they felt like they can't, they ain't had the great makeup or whatever to do it. I thought it was fine. I didn't have a problem with his look. Honestly, for me, I just like it is what it is. Like honestly, I didn't care. That was just my, just my opinion. It didn't just persuade me here or anywhere. I was just like, okay, that's leader. I liked his performance. I thought he did good as what they gave him, but I thought they should have gave him a little bit more to me.
Okay.
Pretty much the same for you too, Bundle. You do you have any opinions or want to elaborate on which one
I didn't even know that he would be the villain in this. Honestly, they gave him a little bit more power than I thought that he would have, as far as being able to control just anybody. Dude cranked up the frequency to blow up someone's heart. I'm just like, where'd they do that at? Like,
right, that was messed up.
That's kind of a conspiracy, like in our real time in the real world. It's a conspiracy that they can control minds through frequencies and
yeah.
So I did like that inclusion of adaptation. I thought that was
using sound and visuals to cause mass murder. I'm like, this is a problem.
Now, I will say something that I think went over people's heads is originally we weren't going to get a Civil War movie. We were actually going to get a Serpent Society film.
And then Kevin Feige said, "Psych."
Yeah, he said, you know what? Coming off of this Avengers film, why would we slow the pace down? Let's feed them this good dope one more time.
Civil War, son.
One more time. And we're going to give you guys the Civil War.
That was one of the best ideas I had.
That's what I said.
That's one of the best ideas I had.
But
right.
Basically, Disney just combined that Serpent War movie and a little bit of the Serpent War and put in some of the Incredible Hulk stuff in there as well.
And Armor War. They basically
Armor Wars.
Yeah.
The beginning of the Armor Wars, all in one movie.
All these foreign countries, all these silent countries, for the race of who was going to drill on Adamantium. And it was just like, scrap that. We're just going to bring y'all in here. Come on in.
But on the fly though. On the cool fly.
Because they saw this is like they were not feeling that Don Cheadle scroll reveal and the scroll in there, so they're just like, never mind.
They like cut that.
That ain't gonna work, son. We ain't about to have a show about Don Cheadle. They don't even like this Don Cheadle. Psych.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. We have seen other MCU films that had cancellations, and their adjustments that they've made have been way worse than this. So I mean,
they have. Thank God that wasn't this one.
Exactly. That's the point that I was trying to make. So
they just need better directors and writers for them certain characters and stories.
And honorable mention, the Serpent Society has its own members, and that guy that was giving Sam Wilson the business was the boy Copperhead. If you just want a little bit of lore, you shook your head. Am I wrong about that? That's not Copperhead. Sidewinder.
Yeah.
No. The guy with the assault rifle shooting is Sidewinder, but the tall white dude when he was in the church,
Oh,
In
yeah.
the building.
on Sam
Oh, you
Wilson
talking about
was
Yeah.
Copperhead.
they gave him the
Yeah,
Kevin Nash
yeah,
power
bro.
bomb in the
That's what
gun.
I'm talking about.
Man, I was like,
Hey, Jeff did his homework today. Jeff did his
man,
homework today.
I was not. I feel you. Hey, where you at? Oh, there you go. Props. There you go. Man, I saw that too. I said, nah, he DDP'd America. I literally
Yeah.
screamed that stuff.
I was waiting for a choke slam next.
He said, I heard a red pop. He said, hold on. I got stuff to do today.
Jonah just
I was
mentioned
lying.
before the Baron Zemo committed some terrorism and turned himself in at the end.
Yeah, I said the same
We
thing.
did. Whoa! Before we didn't say, he did say some stuff earlier that we missed about Chloe Zhao. I don't know if you wanted to mention that. I just wanted to let you know. I saw the SSJ. I didn't want.
I did mention it. I guess we didn't elaborate on it. We can, real quick.
But yeah, talking about you. All right. She's not a hack, bro. But I feel you.
Okay. I thought we did mention that. So I'm gonna
go I guess he just repeated it. My fault. Okay. Yeah. For the Baron always wanted to die though. He knew that was his end game. He just wanted to break up the Avengers and just ride out. And then Black Panther said, "No, never mind."
Question. So the guy who plays Sidewinder, that Black
Giancarlo Esposito.
There you go. You can pronounce his name, Esposito. So originally, for you WWE fans, they originally wanted to bring in Seth Rollins to play that character instead of him. So would you like him to be a more physical, dominating presence, or did you like the dialogue that Esposito was that he was because I would imagine they shot shots with the WWE guy, but when they brought him in, he delivered those lines.
That man is just meant to play a villain, bro. He played a villain in everything, bro. In his younger years, was in Spike Lee films, he was cool, and stuff like that. He played that, that Rico Suave, looking type of character. But he thrives as a villain. That's who he is. And ever since he hammered it down and Breaking Bad, it's just, hey man, there you go. That's what you need. Even in The Boys, as Stan Edgar, he's nice. You got Star Wars, you got this, you got Far Cry. Just get Giancarlo Esposito. That's what you need. I think because of who he is as an actor and the respect and the aura that he has as always being the villain, I think that worked just as good as his actual comic book counterpart. So I liked it.
SSJ says, personally, I think they should have gone with Serpent Society and make Civil War an Avengers film.
It pretty much was anyway. Even if you went with Serpent Society, it's just like, what were you really going? Now that hindsight's 2020, where would Serpent Society work pre and before and during Civil War? Think about that. How did that work?
Civil War actually didn't make sense. It was just a great film, like a timing wise.
Yeah, timing wise, like how that would have worked. It could have been like after Thor 2, Winter Soldier.
That's supposed to be after, if I'm not mistaken, that's supposed to be after Secret Wars. Or is it after
Endgame? Well, comic book wise, yes, but we're talking MCU Civil War.
But he's saying he just created Civil War because he just wanted conflict.
I know, but Serpent Society would have had to have been before that to have had Civil War to be an Avengers movie. So with that time period happening, how would Serpent Society would have fit? Because we're talking about, Civil War, it's already happened, blah, blah, blah. And now just do a, Serpent Society movie. I'm like, out of where? Like, you got so many open cases like a Celestial, like a need of a new Black Panther, like you just added in Namor and a whole nother this. Is the fact that we now have the multiverse going. We now know Doom is on the way. The mutants are here, for Christ's sake. Now we're just going to throw the Serpent Society? Like, no. So it would be where the Serpent Society would fit pre-Civil War. And I'm like, thinking about then, they wouldn't have been a big enough deal. That's my answer to that, yeah.
Okay. SSJ says it should have been Baron Zemo instead of the leader.
Now, that's I said that. I
Okay.
said that. I got no argument. But we'll see what his use is in the Thunderbolts because, hey, that might be cinema. See what happens there. He may pop out with Devontae, whatever her name is, you know what I mean, and be like a side benefactor or some stuff like that. Because I know he was in the raft, but I mean, he could have got out since then. I don't know. We'll see.
I got you. What was you about to say, Darrell?
I was about to say I would agree with Baron if the Hulk in them wasn't included. Because you put the Hulk and all that, you know, General Ross, I think leader fits in that with the revenge and all that. You know what I mean? Tying into it, I think so. I would agree with Baron if they didn't include that. Like if he was more backseat with General Ross and all that, like no Hulk, no none of that. Yeah, but if you putting Hulk in it as one of the main storylines and stuff, I think leader fits better to me.
Isn't it kind of crazy that you're taking gamma pills like for almost a decade? Like you see him time wise, this man just been popping PEDs behind the scene the whole time.
He'll put a lot of stuff. He'll mess with his pills up, boy.
That boy taking Pink Panther, the wife died, he ain't been able to relieve any of that stress.
Blue Chew.
Blue Chew, it's free.
Man was taking Blue Chew saying.
Jody and Little Fox said they could have done the sequel, included it with after the Winter Soldier film, Separate Society. I think that's what he was referring to. Okay.
Agreeance, but again, like I said, hindsight's 2020. Now that we know the pacing of what the MCU was at, do we seriously think that would have fit? Because that was when the MCU was at its height. Was that 2012? It was real. I mean, it's not as high, but it was like right in the middle of it. And so, right after that, would you have prioritized that over the vision of Ultron? You know, Dark World, Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier would already came out. Iron Man 2 would have already came out, but you had to set up to Iron Man 3. What else would have been there at that time? But what heroes dropped at that time to be in Civil War? Take me back.
Okay, before that, we did not have Panther.
For 12, 13 years. 13 years. Well, Panther just came into Civil War.
Yeah, I mean, that's the parents. But before then, we had Ant-Man, Iron Man, Hulk, Captain America,
Spider-Man had just hopped in that. You know, hello everybody, Tom Holland.
Yeah,
and Thor. That's pretty much. And Widow.
Black Widow, she was in it.
Widow had already hopped in, and Vision just hopped in too because he was in Civil War.
Yep. Vision. So you got three.
Bro, we really gonna put that under Serpent Society?
now for its importance in structure and content,
and like I said, and the pacing that we know,
but like
we focused on characters that mattered.
But okay, look, in the sense of this,
I'm with him.
Instead of taking that high train, like and extending it as far as we did and wanting an Avengers film every single time, instead of doing that, if they dropped it and slowed it down and then built it back up and down like a roller coaster, people's mindset towards the MCU might be a little different towards each other.
But
we programmed to think we want to get an Avengers movie every time we see it on the screen.
Again, no, this is 2012, 2013. So, as I said, hindsight's 2020. We can say that now, but obviously, what they did then was the right thing to do.
Yeah. That was that first.
Obviously, what they did, like focus on the main core five. Now where we are right now, we can have that mindset. But think about that. But we only have that mindset because we got the guarantees that we already have. And it's 2025, and we're talking. So we're what 2012, 13, 14. Like we're talking a decade ago, pretty much. You know what I mean? Over that. And so obviously, what they did was the right thing to do. Because that's what got them to $1 billion, pretty much every other film, and what built up everything to 2018 to 2019 to Honestly, it's probably going to be another 20, 30 years before we see another film franchise that had the whole world like at its grasp. I mean, like literally since 2008, everyone hung on to every trailer, everything that they did from 2018 to 19. I mean, everyone with this now it says, okay, whatever. So you would also have to recapsulate that majestic feeling at that time, and then now say, in the midst of that, throw some Surface Society in there. Like, man, you gonna get out of
Like,
here.
what is this? Yeah, this is gonna be like, what is this?
Yeah,
I can't wait for
Yeah.
it. But we already have that mindset anyway. I was just saying, you know.
Yeah, I
Yes,
feel you,
man.
but yeah, good story though. Yeah.
SSJ mentioned, he says Red Hawk either should have been here or he should have been saved for the Thunderbolts, like originally planned.
Well, they got a Century in it, so it wouldn't be no. I mean, unless
That's some
Century and
stuff
Hulk
up.
fight each other.
I wouldn't be
COVID changed
surprised
that.
if we end up
COVID
seeing Red
changed
Hawk
that, though.
again.
COVID changed that though,
Yeah.
because he was actually supposed to have, you know, what I mean, what was this?
Hold it down,
Secret.
fellas. I gotta use the restroom. Hold it down,
Yeah, I
for me,
got you.
fellas.
Secret Invasion was supposed to be completely different than what they were supposed to be. Flagstaff was a tertiary idea. You know what I mean? They like COVID really messed a lot of things up. That it really slowed down a lot of stuff. And I don't think I think that we don't. I mean, we already have given understanding and patience to that, so we don't like think about rehashing it. But
Right.
that is a really big reason on why we don't have a lot of things. Why didn't they do this? Why didn't they do this? Why didn't they do this? That like I set them like back like 2 years.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that were signed in contractually with obligated, like, you know, I'm gonna do this, but at the same time, I gotta do this movie. At the same time, I gotta do this movie. You know what I mean, that they kind of made us be like, and they should this, but they didn't have the actors available there. So I understand that as well. I mean, heck, even Pedro Pascal, they had to set back the Fantastic movie because they were not going to lose Pedro Pascal to Gladiator 2 for Reed Richards. You know what I mean? Feige, I'm not Feige, but this guy is Andrew, whatever. He said, and I quote, "We were not going to lose Pedro Pascal." You know what I mean?
Right.
So they literally set things back for certain actors, and unfortunately, you know, oversaturating a lot of the CGI artists and the writers, the high demand for those 10 years that we were able to provide, and that COVID time with the strikes, the SAG strikes, that really impacted them for 8 months. That played a big role that I like to give those artists, I call them, a benefit of doubt for, where a lot of people would be like, man, Disney effing up, man. I'm like, yeah, but I understand why we had solid bangers for 10, 11 years, and then why now we're kind of like, what y'all doing next? Like, do something. It's like, give them a little bit of a break. Maybe that's because I'm an art major, but I get it though. But I also understand the frustration, especially when they mess up on things like season 3, What If, Love and Thunder, Agatha, Echo, Hawkeye, last 2 episodes. What are y'all doing, man?
Right.
Like, what are you doing? Like, as I tell you, I would have been one of the biggest guys that loves What If. And they honestly, if they would have followed the first season, they had at least another 10 seasons with that. They could have gave us the greatest stories. They wouldn't even had to do a whole Marvel zombies, whatever. You could have just predicated it off of What If. But they decided to make it this anthology almost completely about Peggy Carter for some reason. And
was it Howard the Duck?
Man, the Howard the Duck and old girl Darcy now all of a sudden gets an egg with the celestial powered little. I almost threw. Where's my control? I almost threw and broke it, fam. That episode, and then when they had Red Guardian and Winter Soldier go technique on some twinsies type stuff, I was out. Bro, I was ready to break it. I was like, do you know your audience? Do you know your characters? Do you know? I was giving you the benefit of the doubt in season 2, but season 3, I gotta go with my boy SSJ, and I've said that like multiple times. You know what I mean? But it's just like, and I hate it because I was his biggest advocate. I was his biggest ish talker. You know what I mean? I knew of What If, got it. and I'm wrong, and SSJ is sitting there on his Doctor Doom throne laughing like, yes, yes, yes. Like, you know what I mean?
I think they literally took what if literally, like they just did
Yes, like,
whatever they
what
want.
if we made it? Yes. You know what I mean? I
Right.
caught myself. But you know what I mean? Just sitting on the throne of Sidorak, like, I told you, Bundle. I'm just
Right.
mad. I'm just mad. And then, like, really, I gotta get back to it. Agatha Harkness, like, absorbing all the powers of the Eternals and the Celestials and getting into a fist fight with Arsham and the atmosphere. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah. And then how you gonna include Billy? Was it Billy and the other twin? Like how?
Yeah.
I-
And yeah, the real show. Yeah. He's what's his name? Wiccan.
Yeah, Wiccan and what?
How have you guys been responding to the Jonans and SSJ's comments?
Oh snap!
Okay, if not, it's okay. I'm gonna go through that. I'm gonna go down that list.
We were raging and getting upset.
Yeah, we're right.
How
Bundle was going off.
Us down. They're getting on my nerves. Haha.
Okay, all right. So what do you say here? Jonan said they should have saved Red Hulk for an Avengers movie than a Falcon one.
The only objection I have to that is that the next Avengers movie is going to be a multiversal one. It's like a secret level,
that's exactly
type stuff.
you
know, like and honestly, as cool as a reveal as it is, he's not big enough to be like, here's our Red Hulk in this next Avenger movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So like I said, now that I've seen it, like having your president turn into the Red Hulk at the podium and destroy the White House while fighting Captain America in the political turmoil that we are right now, that means a lot more at the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, you may not care, but it means a lot more. And it
I
allows
agree.
you to focus on characters for the next Avenger movie. Like they've already announced Thunderbolt. We're getting Sentry. Bam! Who's gonna stop Sentry on Earth? Like,
that's why I think they might bring Hulk back just for that. Red Hulk.
Thor is not even. I mean, Thor. I mean, did if you get to the comic book, but that was
Thor.
A specific type of Thor. That's not MCU Thor.
Yeah, MCU.
And
unless
even
Sentry's going to be nerfed.
Marvel ain't
unless we'll see a nerfed Sentry.
He's gonna take himself out.
In the shadows on the sidewalk.
He's gonna take himself out. Just like they're in the comics. They got to.
Probably
He got to.
on some Icarus, or he's going to get reformed to be the Dark Avengers. Where's Norman Osborn at?
Yeah, but he's OP though. That man, that dude OP.
They give me Blue Marvel, Adam Brashear. I pray.
Now look,
bro, they're not gonna give you that.
I know.
Secret Wars. He doesn't have the suit on, but if you see a black scientist or professor at any point in Secret Wars, that is Blue Marvel.
Yeah, that's all you're gonna get.
But honestly, we can think we're getting the Captain. No, I'm sorry, not Captain. We're getting the Fantastic Four film that's going to be based on a certain time period. Obviously, they're going to come to our time period. They're not going to stay there. You know what I mean? And that opens up so much, man. It really opens up so much. I mean, Galactus is going to be there. I don't know,
but y'all think that?
I don't know.
Honestly, y'all think they're gonna have y'all gonna bring a Blue Marvel OP black character into that thing? I don't think so. You will have a cameo, like he's gonna be a scientist.
There you go. I see a cameo.
I can see.
He have a cameo. They're gonna treat him like Beast. They're gonna treat him like Beast.
The way they did like Deadpool and Wolverine, where he kind of was just like Deadpool was turning stuff, seeing all these different Wolverines, all the Wolverines that we wanted to see. So it's gonna be like that. Maybe a slightly longer scene type deal or whatever like that. Or maybe Monica Rambeau, like, recognize him. I don't know, because she got sent to a whole nother, multiverse at the end of, the Marvels. Yeah, I can see something like that, but yeah, I don't see them really having anything in script for him, unfortunately.
No, I don't see it. 19 years. I don't think the next.
I don't see it. I don't see it.
SSJ says, I liked Red Hulk. I'm a fan, but he should have been in a Hulk film with Thunderbolts.
Yeah. Well, he probably still is.
Yeah.
literally called
I
the
think he's going to make
Thunderbolts
an
because
appearance
of
in
him.
Thunder. I think he's going to make an appearance in Thunderbolts, but we're not going to get a Hulk movie. Universal
Yeah.
has rights
You're not
to.
gonna get it. Yeah, you're not gonna get it. And the thing is, they kind of gave you the whole. It's like y'all want to see a crazy Hulk? We're gonna give it. We're gonna give you a Hulk that's gonna go ahead and destroy the little White House. He's
All
gonna
right.
power up on the White. He's gonna slap people left and right. I'm knocking Black Hawks down. I'm going up against Captain America. I'm destroying Cherry Blossom Hill. I'm in Cherry Blossom Lane. I put a permanent scar on the monument. Like, this is the Hulk you want. The last time you saw Hulk this gravy, he broke Harlem. So they're
Yeah.
kind of just like, are you not entertained? You know what I mean? Type deal. You know what I'm saying? So they gave you that type of Hulk, and I think we will see that again. But we will absolutely see the resurgence of him. I don't know how and what measure, but you cannot have a Thunderbolts movie that is literally inspired by the man's name, General Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, and him not making an appearance. Because they gave him some redemption at the end of the film that showed that your accords passed, the Osaki Ross Accords, you know, that
The
everyone
form of
gets
the
their...
Avengers. What's an Avenger team without its Hulk?
Yeah.
So yeah, he's going to be.
Yeah.
I know. I don't think it's not. No. I think it'll be a part of his Thunderbolts team.
No, that's what I was referring to.
It'll be a part of his Thunderbolts team. And honestly, like I said, I mean, there have been Avenger teams without a Hulk, but just a hulking person. Like, if you go Dark Avengers, there's no Hulk on the Dark Avengers.
Yeah. Hell, the original Avengers, it wasn't no Hulk.
Yeah, there was no Hulk there either. Yeah.
All right,
Hell, even the prehistoric Avengers, there's no Hulk.
Jordan said Ducky. I'm taking that was probably in response to a conversation we were having at that particular time.
What did you say?
Ducky.
Ducky.
Are you talking about Howard the Duck?
Yeah. We're talking
Howard the Duck.
But I will real quick, 10 seconds. I do like how they went ahead and because I was wondering when we saw the Thunderbolts trailer, they showed Sebastian Stan, you know, James Buchanan, Bucky Barnes, Winter Soldier, him sitting in Congress room, you know, I mean, with people like Delafontaine and blah, 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 and all that stuff like that. And I'm like, why is he there? Why is he there? And now we see in this episode, this movie, they're like, hey, he's now Congressman. He's not Congressman, Senator James Buchanan. So he's now sitting for us for U.S. congressional blah blah. So I think that's gonna be a big deal of who the Thunderbolts are. I mean, if Winter Soldier is a part of Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross's, Thunderbolts, and he's a senator, obviously that creates a conflict of interest. So what we doing here? I mean, so I just have to point that out. I don't know if anyone else caught that, but yeah.
I mean, and if he's locked up, they got him locked up. They could release him just so he can help with Sentry.
He does, and actually, if you pay attention to the first Thunderbolt trailer, Bucky is actually apprehending them. You know what I mean? Because it shows that they all get into a room, right? You know what I mean? And they all start fighting each other, and then all this fire comes down, right? And then it shows them afterwards. But I also noticed they never show Taskmaster afterwards. So I think Taskmaster may go, which I'm glad, because I hated that Taskmaster. And Tony Dracoff should never been Taskmaster. It should have been Tony Masters. And I'm pissed off. That's BS. So I hope that, and if that's the truth, but in the beginning of that trailer, it shows like Bucky shooting gravitational weapons to apprehend them. They apprehend Johnny Walker, Elena, and them. So it's just like, are you bringing them in to make the team that Sam Wilson's talking about, creating the Avengers, but then you end up getting turned to the Sir Fontaine, but then it's under Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross's name because now he just got good standing because the Osaki Ross Accords.
Right.
I see it happening. I didn't see how that happened. Yeah, I see it. I see. You see it.
All right. So SSJ says, "Nah, Disney deserves the criticism. Don't give them the benefit of the doubt bundle. They should have done way better in many scenarios, but chose other options, most for the worst. respectfully disagree.
My boy, SSJ got to come to Indy, man.
Yeah. That boy got too much rage in him. That boy got too much rage.
I got a break room right over there.
Yeah, I was about to say, man, we got some good time, some good
He's like,
nerd
man, don't
times
give him
here,
a
man.
benefit of the doubt, man. You being too nice to the artist and the director point of view. Call him out for what it is and tell him it's some bull jive. I understand. But see, he hates the but. I've seen the behind the scenes and I understand the hindrances that make it difficult for them to give us the final product that we want.
Yeah.
So I have to take that into consideration.
To get rid of a film, introduce, still keep the content so you can move forward in explanation
and
to get to where we're at, just so they can please us enough.
There's a lot of
support
stuff
the
that's
product.
happened in the last 4 to 5 years of production that just completely impacts not just the country, but the art of itself of filming this, and the actual actors and their schedules that they've already have assigned other projects for in the future. So you have to take all that. So
hold on
like
one
I said
second.
Before, we got
someone else to introduce. What up, cuz?
Who's this?
What up, cuz?
Dang, what up?
What up?
The package came in a bundle today.
Well, cuz, we have spoken a lot of the film, but since we have you in here, let us know what you think of the film, and we'll get back to these comments.
Thought the film was good, pretty good. Not the best film, but not the worst film either. Just right in the middle for me.
Okay.
Just right in the middle. The ending was amazing. The Hulk fight. Some really good
like
action.
You?
He looked like me.
It looked like you with some red paint on.
Yeah, I wish I was that big. I'm gonna need a couple more years. But yeah, I mean it was a good film though, and I'm excited for what's coming in the future.
I got you. And then SSJ also had mentioned, what if season 2 and 3 were woke MCU garbage? Cap Carter became a god. I mean, look, SSJ, we know, bro. The thing about it is, it's so bad that I like to forget it. But you keep bringing it up, SSJ. What if never happened? It never happened. Just like that Dragon Ball movie, never happened.
I'm never gonna acknowledge that Dragon Ball film. Ever. That's the worst movie of all time to me.
Yeah. But SSJ forgets that all comics are woke. All your heroes are woke.
These days.
No, it's always been propaganda and inclusion. Yeah. Like technically, the only reason why we got X-Men was because there was a civil rights movement.
Yeah, they all woke.
They've been looking it up for years.
They just changed shake it up a little bit.
Right. Now they just don't give a fuck.
Change your race here. Instead of making them black folks, let's make them mutants.
Yes, try to make it make it a woman.
Airman and them experimenting on black people. Let's first give them a cap, and then we're going to include Isaiah Bradley and imprison black men. Here comes Luke Cage, the Great White Hope, and martial arts.
Right.
Iron Fist.
The real life correlations are just completely undeniable. No matter how much the mainstream media wants to be like, all things are purely coincidental and incidental. I'm just like, you got the idea from what is obviously important and what is a big deal to the society. So you're gonna draw about it and just throw your spin on it. Understandable. Yeah. Why wouldn't you do that?
Right. All right, just don't be lying about it.
It makes sense. There's no reason to lie about it. It's just obvious, and it doesn't hurt your product either. It just, if anything, it drives home the message even more. It doesn't hurt anything. So yeah.
And then Jonan says they introduced that Native American character as well.
Kahori.
Yeah.
Okay. I was cool with Kahori for an episode in one season. But to do what they did with her for the last episode of second season and those last 3 episodes of season 3, SSJ, I'm channeling your inner anger. I understand. That it's just completely unnecessary for that. Like I don't want to get redundant. Like I said, what if they could have carried that on, but they decided to make an anthology based off of Peggy Carter's life. I don't know why. And they decided to cover characters that no one cares about, that would even be in a position of power like that. Storm, Goddess, whatever, you did the amalgamation universe with her with Millionaire being that, okay, fine. But the rest of them, come on, man. Kahori, Birdie, Peggy Carter. That's what you think us comic book fans want to see? Never mind.
All right, and then Jonah Level also mentioned, he says, if I pronounce this right, Wiccan and Speed Scarlet, Witch/Vision Sons. I think.
Oh yeah, from the TV series.
You said what now?
Wacon. Remember me and you?
Wiccan and Speed. Yeah.
What about them though?
Yeah, what about them though?
I guess maybe that was to include in the conversation that.
It's probably probably. Yeah.
But okay. As far as the future goes, I think with the span of all these movies that have confirmed to come out in the future, I think that the Secret Wars film will have to take place in X-Men's universe, so they don't have to develop them, and then and all these other characters will just be portaled into their universe, just because I really think we're going to end up seeing the X-Men versus the Avengers for Secret Wars, and we'll probably, and as of right now, as far as time travel, multiverse travel, we've got Ant-Man with the Quantum Realm, we've got, of course, Doctor Strange, who can do it as well, now being introduced to Reed Richards. With this film, who's the smartest man on Earth, apparently, to be included with his travel as well. Is there anybody else that can do time travel that I'm forgetting?
Kang.
If he is or not retconned. I mean, Doom, of course.
Well, they're bringing back though.
Loki as well.
He's the guy of stories, but he's in the position right now to understand that he holds the multiverse.
And
in place. He's not going to.
Also, not forget who's got Cable's belt.
Deadpool,
but that's why the TVA came after him. And Deadpool and wrong ones. Yeah, so he don't have that anymore.
Well, TBA could somehow interfere, but all this has to align itself and come together. So, but I guess, guys, one question I'd like to ask: do you think that Adamantium will appear superior to vibranium? Do you think at this point, more so than them being two different substances?
He announced it. He said it's more durable, stronger, denser than vibranium when he was announcing it to everybody. So, I mean, it already has those properties, but that's what we were talking about earlier. How far they're going to go into it is like, are you going to keep it its comic book counterpart and just make it denser, heavier with no type of kinetic dampering? Or is it going to be everything that vibranium is times 10 because it's the physiological makeup of a space guy,
and
a celestial?
And they kind of low key should water down vibranium if they do it like that.
Yeah.
Or Wakanda.
That's kind of what my concern is with this.
Yeah, Wakanda.
It'd be crazy if like Wakanda already had all this stuff, because like all these worlds are like trying to do stuff, but it's like Wakanda already been down there like
digging it up already.
Y'all can't even see it. Like y'all can't even see it. Like because we already had vibranium. It'd be funny if they went ahead and did that, and that'd be the resurgence of the next T'Challa. Ooh, don't play with it. Or Dr. Doom down there doing something.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on the theories.
Probably the next Wakanda villain can be doing that, getting the Animanium.
Man, you ain't gonna get Claw. Ulysses Claw is dead. So outside of that, there's not actually a true villain to Wakanda. Now that Namor is
Yeah,
like that, they cool. So the
they
next
say it.
problem that you're looking for is Doctor Doom, and obviously we know what's
Right.
popping with Doomsday. So.
Mhm.
I think they were trying to say it's some voodoo person, some African voodoo is gonna be the next villain. So I don't know if that's
Doctor
true.
Voodoo.
If I'm not mistaken, is Voodoo going to be a part of like the
Or
the
something.
revamp of Panther? 'Cause-
Yeah, with the sun, with the sun.
I think that'll probably be post Secret Wars. It may not be included storyline with it if we get it before that. But
It'd be interesting if you get it, but I don't know if it wouldn't catch attention right now. You know,
Yeah.
almost like kind of like how the Serpent we were talking about before is like good solid story.
Yeah,
But what would that do right now for what we're trying to progress when we got all these other open,
right.
like thank you.
oh,
Yeah, that would be after.
a question I would like to ask you guys: give me 5 characters that's going to die post Secret Wars.
Taskmaster.
Yeah,
I got one. What else y'all got?
I think it'd be all
Said
the
we only
OGs.
need that one.
Y'all know boys is going to die. We're going to lose a lot of people, but I need to
Taskmaster.
guarantee 5 that's the freak outta here.
Taskmaster and the new Falcon.
I think it's gonna be the OGs.
Then the
So
two right
whoever-
there. So y'all got 3. I got 2. There you go. What y'all got?
Oh, you said the new Falcon?
The new Falcon, he had old boy that almost died, and the new
Yeah.
new joint. He's gonna do something else like that again.
So out of all the people you named, you're not going to name any of the core people that's been in the MCU?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
But only reason I'm not is because they haven't been in the core MCU story for so long, so we can't determine their importance to going forward because we don't understand the importance of the multiverse going forward. We don't know where Loki stands. We don't know where Kang is at. We don't know
You're
where
reserving
Doomsday's
your
at.
answer because you don't want to be wrong.
No, it's not about being wrong. It's just that you have to go ahead and because we're in the multiverse. So now it's like I can say a Hulk this, but it's like, is it a Hulk that matters? I can say that Wolverine's gonna die. Well, we saw multiple Wolverines that it didn't work out. So that's just because we're in the multiverse, whatever. So characters that I think that death is gonna be impactful, and it's gonna be absolute. Those are 2 characters I just said. But outside of that, I don't know what characters of true meaning are gonna die just because we don't know where they stand in Secret Wars and Doom.
You was about to give us the list. I thought. Cause you got some people.
Yeah, I was thinking that it was gonna be the OGs. So it could be like the Captain America that we have now. It could be Ant-Man. It could be Thor. I think it might be just the older people because it's been years now. You know, like thinking back, like this past Captain America movie was a sequel to Incredible Hulk. Incredible Hulk came out in 2008. I was still in high school. I was in high school when Incredible Hulk came out. So these actors that have been in the MCU, they've been in the MCU for a long time. And these movies take a very long time to get out. You know, like the movies that you guys are talking about, I'll probably be in my 40s once we watch them. So they can't, you know, like we can't, it's so much time in between the films that these older actors can't keep doing it. So they have to be killed off.
Instead of being killed off, they just don't reprise the role.
Characters have to be killed simply because all these setups for the new Avengers.
You don't necessarily have to kill them. You can just age them out. They do that in the comics. I mean, they aged out Steve Rogers. You can age out the Hulk. You aged out Hawkeye. Who's the other ones that have been aged out?
Hey, Bun, I have a question. I have a question for you. So, like, for instance, I'm reading The Amazing Spider-Man right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And hold on, I gotta grab the issue. And this does go into the topic. I'm not going off topic here.
Oh, go ahead.
So, if you look at it right here, this issue that I'm currently reading, it says issue 65. So you can see it,
Hmm.
but it's not really issue 65. It's issue 959. So it's still running from all the way back in the 60s.
So it's like a
Yeah.
different volume. It's like
But
Understood.
volume.
Spider-Man is still young. So how do they do that? Low key, that's like a question I have. Like,
I said that
wow.
to Jeff like not too long, a few months back. I'm just like, I was mad because he kept changing the subject, and it's like, and you want to talk about teenage turtles that ain't aged 30 years? So I said, that's just how they, that's just how they write it. I wish I could make sense of that too. You're right. He been in high school since the '60s.
He's not in high school no more. He's like in his 30s or something, like early 30s. But still,
That's
like, how you gonna
funny.
be in your early 30s, bro?
That is funny. They always trying to give you a retell of how his childhood went, and I just look at that as like, you know what, that's your multiversal take, and I just gotta add that to the board as another check mark. But it's a
Darrell,
retelling of what
who
we
you
always
got
know.
dying? Who you got dying, Darrell?
Man, honestly, Sam from Captain America, I think he's gonna die. I do think I want to say Rhodey with War Machine because they got the Ironheart chick.
Do you think Ironheart is gonna be able to carry by herself? Who's gonna watch that?
I mean,
I mean, does War Machine carry
I'm-
anything?
right? That's what I'm
No,
about to
but
say.
I know,
I
but
love
like,
War Machine.
but it's just like you gotta look at like, do their deaths make sense?
Yeah,
It doesn't make really sense to kill Rhodey if Rhodey has already been thought of as dead for as long as he was, and now a scroll, and then you bring him back just to now
Yeah.
kill him after a canceled movie. It
well,
just makes sense to make him as a feature rather than to kill him. But I hear you. Good.
but only while I'm saying these characters because they can actually like die. I don't see they killing Hulk. I don't see them killing Bucky because he got the serum and stuff. So it has to be like humanized character that can actually die, but already got a predecessor. You know what I mean? Because Rhodey got Ironheart to take over his place. Cat gonna have that new Falcon to take over here, and he's young, so I don't think he's gonna die, right? And you know what I'm saying? And I don't think Spider-Man gonna die. He's still young, unless they bring in Miles Morales, which I don't think they're gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Right away.
One of the Spider.
That's
right?
too many
Bringing
black
multiple
superheroes.
Spider-Man, and then like we finally see Toby die. I can see
Uh,
that.
They ain't gonna kill Anthony Mackie. No,
You don't
okay,
think
listen.
That'd be too many black
Black
superheroes.
man, Sam Wilson is Captain America right now, but you gonna have a Mexican Captain America? No.
Yeah, but
They
that's
ain't
only why
happening.
because either him or Bucky.
They ain't doing that. They ain't doing. Sam
We don't trust
Sam is
Bucky.
still
Bucky's
Captain
fine. He's
America
already been
through the
compromised, so
ultimate.
Bucky will probably never end up being Captain America.
He's
Like
still
in the
Captain America. Like, I mean, he does die in the Secret Wars, but along with other people. But he's still actually Captain America through the Ultimates right now. So it's
Yeah.
and the guy that plays, was a Juan, whatever it is. I'll come to me in a little bit. His whole backstory is actually kind of really weird. Doesn't mean anything to get into. They actually kind of transformed him into an actual Falcon. But he's right where he should be. I can Sam Wilson stay Captain America, him stay Falcon. I do see him dying though, giving Captain more purpose. But as far as mainstream guys, again, they just haven't established enough mainstream people. Like we know Riri is going forward to be the next Iron Man, so she's not gonna die. Don't know what they're gonna do with the next Thor, and you got Hawkeye going to be Haley Steinfeld. Everyone loves her. She's not going nowhere. Old girl's about to be the next Black Widow. What's her name? Florence Pugh, who's now making an appearance as the main character in Thunderbolts. She's not going nowhere. Benedict Cumberbatch is still Doctor Strange. He has a whole arc to complete. He's not going anywhere. And outside of that, you just have. And how would you kill Thor?
And then you got
recast Thor.
He's on my list.
Yeah.
But who would you recast? I mean, he has a movie coming up where now Zeus has sent Hercules after him, but every time Thor dies, he comes back. Who's going to recast?
Well, I was about to say he'll possibly come back, but I think Thor's gonna die.
cool, but it'll still be Hemsworth when he comes back.
I mean, yeah, that is a possibility. But I was just speaking on
yeah, I'm
characters
with
that
you.
are going to
Yeah,
be going.
I'm with you because
Thor's out.
Thor has a range of comics from young, prime, mid-age, old in age. You know what I'm saying? Hemsworth is in the position to do that for the next. Like they joke about that with Hugh Jackman and Wolverine. Hemsworth is actually in that position.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's hard to kill him. He's a literally god.
Yeah, man. So you could do that when they just bring him back. I mean, but with the multiverse, anyone can die now. Come
Right.
on.
Yeah.
So interesting to think about, though.
Yeah.
But those,
that's what I was like, man. I think we're going to see some dramatic deaths, bro.
It is because you have to take into consideration, which, like, you know, not to be like that, but the actual person's acting schedule and their actual age. I mean, that's why I said something about Harrison Ford. Look how old he was. Do we really think Harrison Ford about to play Red Hulk for another 7 years?
No.
Like, that's why I was just like, this might have been like his film to see him in, and we're only going to see Red Hulk CGI after that. That's why I said that earlier. I'm like, look at him now. You 72. You ain't playing him to 79, bro.
And also consider this. They could use Secret Wars to retcon any story lore they want.
Yes, you can.
You can see She-Hulk in the battlefield.
When they bring the Beyonder,
Captain
you know
Marvel,
he's coming.
get white.
They bring the Beyonder, and you know he's coming. That wipes the slate clean. When that happens, go ahead. Recast everybody. That's cool. That's straight. And then just have the old people when they get like to the upper 40s, 50s, and 60s, then make like little multiversal appearances like, hey, I was that person, bye. You know, type deal like that. But you have to have the Secret Wars Doomsday stuff happen. And they gotta sell it. They gotta sell it. But it also has to be with respect of the actors that they still have left over, their acting schedule, and with the years to put it out, because they can't take too long, otherwise we ain't gonna care. They had to wait a little bit long with the COVID and the SAG strikes, but we ain't gonna give them another chance after that.
Yeah. I don't know. Because there's only a few characters I think people would have like feelings for if they died because of the many years.
Because of how long? Yeah, we don't really care now who died.
Yeah,
no one that really holds to anymore.
It would have to be a dramatic death, and I mean, maybe that was the foreshadowing we got from the Deadpool film.
Yeah, but think about that. Like personally, I was thinking about that. What old character that's been in there since like 2008, 2010 era, if they died, who would you care about? I think honestly it would be like Guardians of the Galaxy, like Thor, like, you know, characters. Because everyone else, yeah, hold on, that might be the answer.
Or Sam too.
Who do you care about?
Winter Soldier.
But would you make a whole movie around him and then tell him at the end of the movie, Cap will return, just to kill him the next one?
But remember, they did that with Iron Man. He died in they stabbed him in Infinity War, brought him back for him to die in Endgame.
Yeah, but they had 3 movies of them individually first.
Yeah.
It got to be someone from the Guardians, maybe Captain Marvel, because we got some other Marvel girls in position. But like I said, if they give us someone that's like a big heart wrencher, it's an easy fix with the multiverse. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, in the future post Secret Wars, we're going to see like very small factions develop, groups, if they want to, exceed past that. But it'd be less likely we see the core members together again. Yeah, that's. But
yeah, agrees.
All right. Pretty much, I wanted to conclude this stream, guys. Any final words you guys want to speak on or anything?
Good.
All right. I appreciate everybody for watching, especially everyone that included their comments. If you guys get to this point within the stream, let us know what you guys think. If you want to join us, or if you got, any conclusions you want to add, hit us up in the comment box. Make sure you hit that bell and subscribe to us. I'm Jay Leno, and I'm out.
Tomorrow, Invincible.
Indeed.
Invincible indeed. Indubitably, get that. Third one. Sorry, guys. I turned into Jordan in here. Ow. Ow.